From episode 22's Living Mountains of Mesoamerica, we cross the Pacific to Asia, where pyramids take two striking forms: earthen tomb mountains that hide emperors beneath fields of grass, and stone temple mountains that turn jungle into a walkable cosmos. China raises horizons to shelter the dead. Cambodia raises sanctuaries to seat the gods. Both build vertical worlds you can inhabit, but for opposite journeys, downward into secrecy and upward into revelation. In northern China, west of modern Xi'an, a low geometric hill interrupts the plain. Farmers sow wheat on its slopes. Drones sketch its angles. This is no natural rise. It is the mausoleum mound of Qin and Han, the first emperor, 3rd century BCE, under which an entire underworld was engineered. Around it, regimented pits hold the terracotta army, infantry, archers, charioteers, arrayed as if time merely pauses between drumbeats. Ancient texts describe a hidden palace underground, a vaulted sky with constellations in precious stones, rivers of flowing mercury channeling like silver snakes through painted lands, and crossbows primed to fire at intruders. The central chamber remains officially unexcavated for preservation, the mound sealed. China's pyramid is an earthen mountain that does not proclaim, it withholds. The Qin mound is not alone. The Han imperial tombs replicate the logic across the landscape like a grid of artificial hills. Each is a microcosmos, outer walls as horizons, inner corridors as world rivers, storerooms as granaries of eternity. Artifacts recover a social galaxy, jade burial suits stitched with gold wire, miniature watchtowers of glazed ceramic, lacquered coffins sealed from air. Where Egypt wrapped a king in stone geometry, Han China wrapped him in modeled life. The afterworld is furnished like a state. These Chinese pyramids rarely rise like Giza. Their silhouette is softer, their angle hidden under earth. Yet from above the geometry is absolute. Squares within squares, cardinal alignments, approach avenues cutting like meridians. The form is cosmographic more than monumental. It encodes the emperor at the center of a mapped order, axis mundi under soil. The choice of rammed earth and brick over limestone is not technological lack, it is cosmology. Earth, heavy, fertile, enclosing, makes the right medium to plant a world you intend to keep. Fly south and the language changes from concealment to display. In the forests of Cambodia, the Khmer built temple mountains, pyramids as Mount Meru, the divine peak of Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. Here the goal is not to hide a body, but to stage the universe so the king can rule from its center. The earliest clear expression is Bakong, late 9th CE at Hariharalaya. 5 terraces stepping upward, moats framing a cosmic ocean, sandstone towers standing like peaks around a summit shrine. The climb is catechism. Every step recites the doctrine of a layered cosmos. By the 10th, 11th centuries, the Temple Mountain becomes an imperial thesis. Bafuon near Angkor Thom surges as a steep pyramid, once sheathed in bronze gold, a sunset magnet. Pre-Rup glows with laterite and sandstone like fire petrified, and then Angkor Wat, early 12th C, synthesizes everything. 5 towers for Meru's peaks, a moat as the sea, kilometer-long bas-reliefs narrating epics. Its axes align with equinox sunrises. Its galleries count days like a calendar in corridors. Stand on the western causeway at dawn, and the temple drinks the sun like a black flower brightening from the center outward. This is architecture as cosmogram, a walkable mandala. Unlike Egypt's sealed passages, Khmer pyramids are public scripts. You read them with your feet. The steep stair grades are doctrine disguised as exercise. Ascent is permissioned piety. The lintels and pediments are not decoration, but instruction, compressing myth into stone filigree, churning of the ocean of milk, gods and demons tugging a serpent to birth immortality, while the mountain pivot stands firm. The Temple Mountain says, a stable axis yields divine nectar. The king who stabilizes the axis earns rule. Both regions share the pyramid's core grammar, height, axis, cardinal order, but invert its sentence. China sinks its meaning. Khmer display it. China's pyramid is a memory vault, silence enforced by earth and mercury and taboo. Cambodia's pyramid is a performative cosmos, broadcast by stare and relief and light. Together they show how one shape encodes antiphonal theologies. The technologies diverge with intent. China's rammed earth and fired brick train resources into volume and negative space. The cost is external spectacle. The gain is internal preservation and scale. Khmer sandstone and laterite ask quarrying and exact joinery. The cost is exposure to climate. The gain is legibility and ceremony. In both, water is theology. Qin's mercury rivers render geography and toxic silver. Angkor's barrays, vast reservoirs, make water a visible policy. Irrigation as cosmology, hydraulics as kingship. When climate shifts and maintenance falters, temples brown at the edges, berets silt, drought argues with doctrine. The pyramid is always also a weather report. Astronomy threads both tapestries. Chinese tomb avenues often key to cardinal lines and star law. Han Mingqi, tomb miniatures, mirror a measured heaven. At Angkor, orientations favor solstices and equinoxes. Angkor Wat carries a lunar logic too, with axial nuance debated in journals and mapped by surveyors like sunrise detectives. Where Egyptians aligned for eternity and Maya choreographed equinox serpents, Khmer integrates celestial cycles with political liturgy. The sky justifies the throne night after night. Narratively, episode 23 now stitches our series. Egypt sealed geometry to resurrect a king, episodes 12 and 16. Mesopotamia invited gods down stair mountains, episode 21. Mesoamerica performed calendars on temple steps, episode 22. China plants cosmos beneath soil. Khmer lifts cosmos above moats. Same axis, different verbs. When humanity picks a pyramid, it is choosing not just a shape but a stance toward heaven. Hide, invite, perform, map. Before we descend, if this walk across continents clarified the pyramid's accents, press like so the algorithm doesn't bury this episode under digital jungle, and subscribe so you're on the causeway when we open the next gate. In episode 24, we'll ask why this shape returns across cultures. Is the pyramid inevitable engineering, sacred mountain logic, psychological preference, mathematical elegance, or all at once? We'll weigh myth, math, and mind to see why building to the sky feels like human grammar.